Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 5th edition of the Say What, Speak and Serve Initiative National Debate Competition, running under the theme Nurturing Ideas for a Healthier Society through Debate is All Systems Go. I'm your debate master, Tetenda Prince Chitenene. Many thanks to our supporting partner, the Swedish Embassy in Zimbabwe. And right now, I just want to also give many thanks to our adjudicators and also the sign language professional. Anyways, it is a debate and the road to semi-finals is upon us, and I'm sure that most of you, the time that you've been waiting for, which is the debate, is now. So without wasting any time, I'm just going to introduce the institute that I have right here with me, starting with Chibhero Agricultural College. We've got Great Zimbabwe University, Midlands State University, and Bulawayo Polytechnic. For right now, all I can say is, let the games begin. Medicalisation of mental health refers to the increasing trend of treating mental health phenomena with medicines and the perception of mental health phenomena as medical conditions. With the motion, this House regrets the medicalisation of mental health. I'll repeat the motion. With the motion, this House regrets the medicalisation of mental health. Prime Minister, you can come.
Panel, welcome to the opening session of this debate. With the motion, this House regrets medicalisation of mental health. Now, before I provide a complete case of this motion, allow me to first define the key terms of the debate's motion. Now, when we talk of medicalisation, it is an occurrence when previously non-medical problems become defined and treated as medical problems, usually in terms of illnesses and disorder. Secondly, mental health is defined as emotional, psychological, and social well-being of an individual. So when we're now talking of mental health issues, we'll be looking at the emotional stability, the psychological independence, and social interaction of an individual. So, panel, before we provide the complete case of this debate, it is important that we as the opening government establish that a problem exists. And that problem is the vast under-recognition of mental health issues, especially in the developing world. So we recognize that mental health issues have become a fast-growing matter of concern in our communities and our societies. And now the proximity of the dangers surrounding mental health issues calls for an evaluation of the previously implemented strategies that have been initiated into curbing the effects of mental health issues such as suicide mostly. And we also have mental health issues developing into becoming serious health complications at the end of the day. So as the opening government, we agree that there is a problem with mental health issues. We agree that mental health issues are a problem in our societies and our communities. And hence, we want to analyze and evaluate the strategies that have been implemented before, that have been initiated and actually channeled towards curbing the problems associated with mental health issues. So, the basis of this debate revolves around an analysis of the effectiveness of medicalisation in solving mental health issues. So, at the end of the day, we want to understand the objectives or the goals that the implementation of medicalisation wanted to achieve and decide whether or not it did fulfill its intended purpose. So my Deputy Prime Minister will come and bring into light the truism of this matter. We are saying that regret towards medicalisation of mental health issues is a matter of truism. Because at the end of the day, we see that it hasn't proved to be effective. We're going to see that by the status quo that my Deputy Prime Minister will come and bring into light. He's going to show us how ineffective medicalisation of mental health issues has been, concentrating at a span of from 2010 up to the current day, especially in the developing world, in the developing countries. So the regret of medicalising mental health issues arises from situations where normal life experiences such as menopause, shyness, etc., are now deemed as illnesses, or when diseases are created from mild problems. So we agree that we have some extreme cases of mental health issues. We're saying that we have such cases. We have depression, we have anxiety, etc., and such issues must be dealt with. Such issues must be concentrated on. We must deal with such issues. But what we're saying is that medicalising mental health issues has proved to be ineffective, because at the end of the day, it doesn't show us how it curbs the problems associated with mental health issues. It doesn't show us how, at the end of the day, we achieve the goals that we intend to achieve. With that, I thank you.
Now it is time for the leader of opposition.
Panel, it is important to understand that the shift from religious beliefs and cultural dependence up to understanding that our socio-psychological and emotional well-being can be characterized as medical conditions is the greatest and groundbreaking development ever to occur in our communities. So this debate primarily occurs at a time when we have moved from the traditional ways of treating mental health, but rather to more scientific and research-based models that actually benefit society for the greater good. So first things first, for clarity, we're going to tell you that this debate is based on what has happened, what was, rather than what will happen. And we are not here to question the effectiveness of medicalisation, but rather, what is it that warrants regret? But therefore, from our side of the house, we're actually going to tell you why we oppose regret, and that is in the opposite, celebrating. Why should we celebrate? So we are actually going to give you a harms and gains analysis, but particularly popularizing the gains. So to get in first, we do agree with the definition given by opening government. We do believe that it is succinct enough to set this debate. But however, we feel for further engagement's sake, we have to go down into detail into our case and matter. So for first things first, we will show you the benefits. Then secondly, we'll show you the gains and how they outweigh the harms. And then lastly, we'll give you the outcomes. And then at least I'll further flesh on one idea. Then my deputy leader of opposition will come and build on our case. So for the benefits, one, we have improved research on mental health issues. Then two, we have managed to demystify mental health issues. And then secondly, we've managed to deal with issues to do with stigma and misnarrative and misinformation around mental health issues. And this itself has managed to give us access to proper and accurate information that benefits society for the greater good. So with that, we believe it is a benefit that far outweighs the harms of over-medicalization or rather drug dependence. So in that way, we believe that there are more harms on our side of the house and there is more utility on our side of the house. Then moving on how the gains outweigh the harms. One, with accurate information, there's been accurate addressing or correct addressal of these problems. So it means now we have managed to give people the correct remedies to their material problems or to their specific problems. Then secondly, when we say research-based data solution gathering, we're saying we have invested much in gathering information that is effective and relevant to mental health crises. And this has actually put us a step further towards dealing with the mental health crisis. So therefore, medicalization there warrants grounds to celebrate rather than to regret. Then when we go to the outcomes are one, we've dealt away with stigma. Back in the days, mental health was treated with stigma such that people, because of cultural and religious beliefs, we thought people were demon-possessed, spiritually controlled. But now, with the basis of science, we've demystified that and we've dealt with it such that we're now allowing people space to be actually given treatment and to be dealt with. Then secondly, we're going to look at how we have changed the narrative. Narrative change work has encouraged good discourse and sober debate around mental health issues, and it has allowed us to interrogate and engage in a conversation that has actually tried to transform the thinking systems within society and how we view mental health. And as a benefit, we've managed to activate agents in society in dealing with mental health, and we've managed to channel accuracy. So the importance of narratives is that the way society perceives a certain problem determines how urgent they deal with it and determines the manner and attitude at which they implement a solution. And we believe that With medicalisation, with the use of science and reliance of data-driven analysis, we've managed to bring out accurate details, we've managed to actually demystify, and we've managed to actually stimulate positive outcomes and positive attitudes towards dealing with mental health. Then also again, we've gained access. Access to what? Access to information, more detailed information about our mental health issues. And with the use of big pharmaceutical companies, we've managed to be ever proud to oppose.
Now I call upon the Deputy Prime Minister from Bulawayo Polytechnic.
To skip the introductions, let me get straight to my role as the Deputy Prime Minister, which is actually to refute rebuilding our case, proposing and adding new arguments as we would actually regret medicalisation of mental health issues. Beginning my role, I'd like to give a contextualization of the debate as the Prime Minister. First of all, I actually want to tell you that as opening government is that we're going to tell you why we regret medicalisation of mental health issues on the ground of fulfilling its intended purpose to a greater extent in medicalisation of mental health issues. What I'm going to tell you again, we're going to tell you that what is the better alternative actually to cater for these facilities is we are going to bring psychosocial therapy. Ladies and gentlemen, before I move on actually to extending my case, I would like to first rebut the leader of opposition who actually came here and spoke about the issue of effectiveness. He came here and spoke about it and said that yes, it is effective. Yes, we agree on other agendas that it is effective. You have come out with better, modernized situations, but ladies and gentlemen, it's not fulfilling its intended purposes. How? What are we seeing on these grounds? We are seeing that it has created a bigger vacuum of increased mental health issues. How, ladies and gentlemen? On the ground of the pill or drug dosage that only clusters the surface, not the root core of the disease of the mental illness. What do we again look at? The leader of opposition actually came here, I'll get back to you in a second, and spoke about that we have actually managed to deal with uses pertaining to medical issues due to creation of laboratories and all that. Yes, we agree on your own side. But I'm sorry to say that we have seen that yes, your solutions are working to some extent, but to a greater extent they are not working because we haven't actually seen people actually getting better. Why? We are saying that we advocate for a psychosocial therapy that will actually coexist with medicalisation and hence improve the people, the society at large. Accept it.
Okay, the problem here is you're not really showing us what the harms of medicalisation has been in terms of mental health issues. Please, could you clarify?
Before I started the debate, I made it clear. I made the constellation of the debate clear. What basically did I say? That I'm going to tell you why we regret medicalisation of these mental health issues on the ground of what? They are not fulfilling it intended purposes. How? Why? What are we seeing? We're seeing an increase in what? In medical health issues. Two, what are we saying? We are saying that we are bringing a better alternative to that game. How? We are bringing a psychosocial therapy that actually will coexist with, because we regret what? Medicalisation of mental health issues. Then right now what we can actually tell you is that we're going to show you how this psychology is going to provide a better coexistence with what? With medicalisation as we approach the game to actually usher our society a better society. Then what is it that we are saying is that we are opting that psychosocial therapy to be the main prioritized action to cater for the sector on mental health issues, as we have seen that medicalisation of mental health issues have actually not fulfilled their intended purpose. So hence, ladies and gentlemen, we are saying that we are bringing the solution into existence. Thank you.
The Deputy Leader of the Opposition coming from Midlands State University can now come.
Two things that you're going to get from my speech today. I'll further cement Liam's case and extend upon it and just engage. Panel, we think it's very important for us to understand that the bulk of OG's obligation and role today was just simply to tell us how the harms of medicalisation far outweighed the goods historically. But Liam obviously tells you countless cases that show that we not only get benefits, but at the end of the day, I'll extend on the matter that he had brought on. But in engagement for what the opening government had already brought us, they gave us an alternative of psychosocial therapy. We think the only way we got to psychosocial therapy in and of itself was through medicalisation itself. Without medicalisation, there would have not been psychosocial therapy. They ought to have then showed us how even psychosocial therapy in and of itself is a problem, because that is their obligation as opening government. They need to show us how other conventional methods are far better than getting medicalisation assistance. So what we tell you on opposition side is that we on our end found things like research being bettered, but above and beyond the change of narrative. It is important for us to understand that this is a global phenomenon, like Liam tried to explain, that at the end of the day, I'll take you soon, at the end of the day, countries like the USA, South Africa, had so many times in which they had to introduce drugs that help people to cope with things like anxiety and depression. When we're looking at the things like opioids, those are drugs that allow individuals to function like normal individuals within their workspace. Without those things, we are going to have issues that Liam cleared out on in terms of stigma. People seeing them as if they are being possessed by some spiritual being and not being able to be considered as someone who's going through either post-traumatic disorder. We think with medicalization, you ultimately get those benefits of individuals functioning in society, but being able to deal with the underlying problems. You didn't get that in their world, where they just relied on being prayed for or being seen as somebody who is possessed maybe by Mbuyane Handa or Sekuru Kaguvi. That was the problem that existed before medicalization. But in our world, you actually saw individuals being considered to say that they need extra assistance. Because two things from my extension, when we're looking at the big pharmaceutical industry and we're also looking at access, we need to understand that access in that term was only set for elite people. But with medicalization, they had research, and that allowed even the people that were in the middle class and the poor to even access help and assistance. Yes, be quick.
Confirm that mental health issues are fueled by pharmaceutical industries simply because they are more interested in selling sickness and not selling treatment.
At the end of the day, most of the treatment and the sicknesses that you are identifying can only be known to be existing if you have medicalized it at the end of the day. But at a point in time in which you say it has so much harm, you're not accepting that they have ultimately even worked on creating treatment, and even if the treatment doesn't work, they have actually acknowledged that it exists at the end of the day. So our house not only acknowledged that those problems existed, but they ultimately created access for everyone, and we've ultimately done away with things like stigma. So at the end of this debate, we should ask ourselves, which world do we prefer? A world where we ultimately get access to bettering our livelihood on a daily basis, or a world where we say this assistance and this care was something that we feel is problematic just because there are other means and ways to deal with it, even if those other means and ways to deal with it have perpetuated things like stigma in the long run? We think that in and of itself is problematic. This we've never been proud of.
Thank you so much. So please do make sure you can engage with us. Hashtag SASI debate, hashtag debate for health. Our social media platforms are Say What on Facebook, Instagram is Say What Zimbabwe, and Twitter is Say What Org. So just give us maybe your ideas, what you think about the motion, and also which institute you think that will be likely to be the winner for this episode. So still to come, it is the closing government and the closing opposition. So what you're gonna do is stay tuned, because we'll be back after short minutes. Welcome back to SASI Debate. So many thanks to our supporting partner, which is the Swedish Embassy in Zimbabwe. So the motion reads, for those that have been joining us, with the motion, this House regrets the medicalization of mental health. Now it's time for the closing government and the closing opposition to come forward. So for right now, it is the member of government. You can come forward.
As the Prime Minister of the closing government, we regret the medicalisation of mental health. What is mental health? Mental health is the cognitive, behavioral, and emotional well-being. It is all about how people think, feel, and how they behave. Medicalisation is also touched upon in the info slide, and with this, in our aspect of medical literature, includes primary prevention. This too is a regret motion, and we are required to matrix regret on past evidence. Parameters for this House, which were not set, are on a open floor basis for statistical information, and in that also in regards to what we call DSM-5s. And these DSM-5s under our status quo state that there are 157 plus mental health disorder types in that category. And then in our line of argument, natural behavioral manifestations are not different from mental health issues. And this, in 2013, the USA Center Center for Control estimated that 6.3 million children of the 11% of children in United States were actually diagnosed for ADHD, and these were on medication for this for this disorder. The regret is that ADHD is a medical deprives children of their normal growth, because most symptoms are typical growth behaviors. That is, children actually are normal in this sense. So if we're now medicinalizing it, we're saying they're not allowed to be normal children. Also, children are labeled mentally ill, as this also deprives them of the opportunity to be treated normally or interact normally with their colleagues, and brings more problems due to stigma. And also, parents escape from what we call liability and putting a blame on medicinal purposes, or rather putting faith in medicine to treat their children of their socializing aspects. In 2012, a committee of international experts submitted that PMDD on the first or post-menstrual chromophobic disorder fall under the category of DSMS. This, I read, is the recognition of mental health problem which needed medicinal solutions. With this, we regret this premenstrual syndrome, which is actually a normal biological process for us or in the cisgender. By this, I actually mean that most people are falling or evading responsibility because they're actually falling under medicinal purposes, saying that, no, I'm not like this because I'm on medication. This also led to women being neglected and less opportunitated, in the sense of Hillary Clinton also evading accountability in the sense of speech brought up on parliamentary. My co-counsellor will also touch upon how women evade accountability by the worst things that can blame it on premenstrual syndromes, such as of PMDD. With this, I thank you.
Now it's time for the member of opposition. You can come forward.
As the member of the opposition, I would like to start a rebuttal with the opening government. Yes, I can engage with the psychosocial therapy, but it takes time for the patient to recover, right? So in this world, we know that time is money. So we do not waste time in that. Medication is way faster than social therapy. So, and I want to rebuttal again the closing government. They said under medication, people under medication they say people may feel being stigmatized. But I'm saying if they have this medication, if they take medication, it boosts their confidence, and it also reduces the stigma, because now a lot of people will say I'm getting better of this of being mental health. It is reducing, and I'm not, and they said I'm not like, and he says people say that, and he states that people will say I'm on medication, so it is not, I'm not affected by mental health, but it also boosts confidence on that. So I would come with the extension of points of how of why I do not regret medicalisation on mental health. It helps with the management of symptoms, and sometimes it also eliminates there's hospitalization, so that an individual can be closely monitored accurately diagnosed or have medication adjusted or stabilized or can be monitored so that they can get better, so that they can recover. It may occur as the best decision for themselves at the instance of a family member or a professional. Researchers believe that symptoms of mental illness come from chemical imbalances in a patient's brain. So as medication works on their imbalances, it reduces those symptoms. For example, we've got the antipsychotic and the anti-depression and mood depressors. So being involved in medication can make a real difference in the country, in the world. Let me give an example. For people suffering with autism, they say they are fear people, they cannot associate. For social therapy, I can say it cannot go for that. I say it's because they'll be afraid. So if they take medication, there's a way forward for them to recover. There's the way forward for them to be recovered, to be in the world like the same people they are. And this fear may be removed. Because if you say a psychologist come in the room with the autism, you'll be scared. And the person with the autism will be scared and cannot talk or say or open up. So how will it help him? So we can say, go for medication. Let's go for medication on mental health. Let's go for medication so that it develops the country. Let's go for medication on mental health because it helps those who are on medication to also engage in the participation of developing this country. As we say, we're still developing so that we can have the economic stability in this country. With this, I thank you.
Thank you so much. Now it is time for the whips, starting with the government whip.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will summarize our case arguments and engage a bit with the concerns that have been raised prior to my opportunity to speak. Now, our burden with my team member was to prove how the world would be a better place without medicalization of mental health and its repercussions thereof based on metric analysis of past events. We did this by analyzing the discomfort of medicalization of ADHD, which was contained in our first argument, which is created for children, how it outs parental liability and how it is intense for minors to be termed pathological at such a young age as young as 5 to 17. Our second argument was that how medicalization of premenstrual syndrome is working against women. Their opinions are being negated. And my co-speaker gave an example of a Hillary Clinton case whereby upon commenting on electoral committee as per her job, she received a backlash and was publicly diagnosed as to have premenstrual syndrome. This also makes women glamorize these conditions, leading them to do the worst things ever possible and then blame it all on having a medical condition. We said all this based on our status quo, what is present at the moment. My co-speaker told us that we have something that is called the DSM-5, which is basically a rule or a rubric which contains all the mental health issues. And at the moment, they're at 157 plus.
POI.
And our argument was this basically makes everyone in this world sick, because if we have everything connected to mental health issues from periods to normal behaviors of children, as this concern were also raised in the opening opposition, that medicalization can also assist people to behave in the best normal way possible. But we are saying that medicalization of mental health issues actually takes away the normality of people, because if you are putting children on medical, I'll take you later. If you are putting children on medical on medication simply because they're exhibiting energy, which is typical children behavior, I do not think that is normal. And if we are putting women on medication because they have gone to periods and exhibited moods, which is a natural biological process that we all know, that is not normal. We deserve to win this debate because we exhibited an understanding of the motion as we brought in the past events that have been implemented and shown the regrets and which are relevant to the debate, to the society, and are backed up by empirical evidence. I'll take you, ma'am.
Is it normal to be sick?
Well, we limited ourselves to two conditions, premenstrual syndrome, and that is not being sick. And we also limited ourselves to ADHD. Children being energetic is not being sick. So it is not normal to be sick, but it's not part of our arguments as my team. So we deserve to win this debate because, unlike the closing opposition, which did not base any of their arguments on the past events, rather based everything on the future, we understood the motion and did what the motion requires us to do. And we do not quite agree to the concept of medicalisation bringing confidence, because we're not advocating for a society whereby people are living based on induced euphoria. We want people to be normal. And for us to have a number as big as 157 and counting mental health issues, it is too quite a number, impractical, and definitely makes everyone in this room sick with a mental health condition.
Now it is time for the opposition whip.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As the opposition whip, first of all, I would like to engage the opening government. First of all, they failed to establish their main regrets on medicalisation of mental health. They failed to say the cases that would support them in winning. And I would like to engage again the opening opposition, as they managed to tell us that with the research there is improved medicalisation of mental cases. And I would like to engage again my colleague who managed to give us an example of autistic patients who are now able to socialize with the community, who are now able to walk around, shake hands with their peers, which is a result of research facilities. I would like to engage again the government, the closing government, as they were giving us examples of children having power. I haven't, in my research, I haven't come across any case where a child is given pills for power, as denied. As children, as they grow up, they all do activities, sometimes which are strenuous, and they are not given medicalisation. And by regretting medicalisation, you're telling us that a kid who is somewhat different from other people, he or she can be discriminated and stigmatized. But when taking medications, the chemical imbalances in the child's brain, the chemical imbalances, they are brought to normal or they are eliminated, thereby giving him the opportunity to socialize with his peers. I would like to support the opening opposition, as they managed. Sorry. As the closing opposition here, they gave us the time wasting. As as the closing opposition, we deserve. Okay.
What research and figures regards to parameters which were set before your research?
Well, I didn't research far as the figures, but we can see that when there's case of social therapy, as the person is required to be sitting with the therapist and have to talk through, and in that moment the production of a company or as a nation is reduced. This, I think.
Thank you so much. So that was it from the closing government and the closing opposition. Please get in touch with us. Tell us which team do you think is likely to win for this episode. Do the hashtag SASI debate, hashtag debate for health, and go to all our social media platforms. And please do remember that if you know anyone, or it might be yourself, that might have actually suffered from sexual abuse, sexual harassment, or it might also be a case that you might think that you have maybe an STI or have contracted it anyhow, you can actually be able to call our toll-free number, which is 577. It is 577. It will be confidential. It will be between you and I. It'll be between you and the SAYWHAT counselor. So please do call 577. So after this, we are going to take a short break as the judges are going to be deliberating on the results. So in the next segment, we're going to be free as we're going to get into the segment where it is hashtag how well do you know your partner. So you don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. It is the segment of How Well Do You Know Each Other? Many thanks to our supporting partner, the Swedish Embassy in Zimbabwe, and this show is proudly brought to you by Say What. So after a fierce, and formidable debate, we now just want to relax as we wait for the results. So, the contestants, are you okay?
Yes.
All right, that's good. So we're going to play a game called How Well Do You Know Your Partner? I'm sure most of you that are watching would also want to take part. Please do take part. So we want to see how well our contestants know their partners. Is it just business or, there's a little bit of chemistry? So I'm just going to ask you I want you guys to swap partners. Don't worry. So, Maria, can you swap with ma'am over there? Can you just like that? And then, sir, yes, sirs, can you just... All right. So, what I want you to do is just basically simple. I'm going to ask you a question about your partner. All you gotta do is write the answer. You have somewhere to write, right? You can write, somewhere with a paper. All right. I'm not sure if my paper is right. Thank you. So I would just want you to write an answer. I'll just give you 10 seconds. It's not really quiz. There isn't really anything to be serious about. It's just about your partner. So the first question goes like this. It's an easy one. What is your partner's favorite meat? What is your partner's favorite meat? Please do get in touch with us on all social media platforms. On Instagram, it is Say What Zimbabwe. On Twitter, it is Say What Org. And then on Facebook, it's Say What. Simple like that. 10 seconds. I'm sure 10 seconds have passed. All right, starting over there. Maria, what did you write?
Chicken.
Is that correct, Liam? Are you sure? You can actually, just give me.
I'm 100% sure.
You're
I like
100%
chicken, yes.
All right. What's Maria's favorite meat?
Well, we eat chicken together.
But Maria's like, is that correct?
Yes, I only eat white meat.
So is it chicken? Because there are quite a lot. You can be fish also.
That's the only.
A round of applause. These ones know each other, huh? All right, sir. What's your partner's favorite meat?
I'm going to go with chicken.
That's correct.
Everyone likes chicken.
Yes, you see, we always see a line which is sliding on chicken in Nando's. I love chicken.
You love chicken. All right. And for you, what did you write? What's your partner's favorite
For
meat?
my partner, we always usually go out for braai. We love chicken again.
Is that correct, sir?
Definitely.
People, I have fans of chicken right here.
When Ash and I go out, we don't go anywhere else. Chicken outlets only. Chicken.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tinashe. Ma'am, what did you write? What was your answer?
This is embarrassing.
Just say chicken. Yes, what's your partner's favorite
I'll
meat?
go with beef.
So do you like beef?
Unfortunately not.
I'm very unfortunate.
I'm a chicken guy as well.
You see, I told you chicken.
All this time.
Oh, all right, thank you. All right, so about her, do you know her favorite meat?
I thought we actually shared something in common with
Oh
chicken.
no, we don't.
What do you like?
Pork.
Pork. All right, interesting. You said, can you please tell me what's your partner's favorite meat?
Chicken.
Yeah, chicken. Chicken.
Chicken.
Ma'am, do you agree?
100% true.
All right, and you, what did you write?
Unfortunately, we're partners, but he likes beef.
He just said beef. All right. So moving forward to the next question. The next question, very easy. Very easy. What is your partner's favorite color? What is your partner's favorite color? You can actually see the clothes they wear and you can judge that this one likes this color. What's your partner's favorite color? Please get engaged. Just engage with us with hashtag SASI debate, hashtag debate for health with our... So we are done, right? Okay, we'll start with the gentleman over there. What did you write?
I don't know if it's her favorite color, but she's usually in red and white most of the time, even at school.
Just give me one. I want one.
It's a combination.
Just give me one. There's that one.
Alright, I'll go for red.
Red.
That's true.
Oh. And
But I'm wrong, and I know. Blue?
Ah, yeah.
No. She's wrong. What color is it? Is it black?
Man in black. It's always black.
But I've never seen you in black, though.
He's wearing black.
Everyone is in black.
All right, ma'am. What's your partner's favorite color?
He likes a combination of black and white, but if he were to choose between the two, he'd definitely choose black.
Black. Man in black. Do you agree, sir?
Yeah.
All right. And what did you write? What's your partner's favorite color?
Dark gray. Dark gray. It's
Yes.
always dark gray.
Okay. A round of applause. This is nice. She was like, yeah. All right. She loves that gray.
Are you guys just partners? Yeah.
No, we're more than partners. Definitely, we're
You're
more
not
than
telling us.
partners. We're more than partners.
You're more than partners.
Yes.
It's not just a professional business.
No.
It's more than that.
Yes. It's
All
more
right.
than that. Yes, we're family.
Your family. All right.
Yes.
Mr. Liam, yes. What's your partner's favorite color?
Well, we usually rock in black. Okay. We usually rock in black.
Maria, is that correct?
Liam.
Really, Liam?
I'll put our house in order after this.
What's your favorite color?
Unfortunately, it's blue.
It's blue. All right.
So you've been cheating all along.
Maybe.
All right. So, what's the answer for him? What's your partner's favorite color?
Black.
Are you a man in black also?
Yeah.
All right. Please
Man in
take-
black.
All
Black
right.
is beauty.
Ashley. Yes. Tell me, what's your partner's favorite color?
Blue.
Mr. Tinashe, is that correct?
Yes, most definitely.
All right. And the answer that you wrote for her, what's her favorite color?
Yellow.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Like light.
Yeah.
All right. A round of applause for those ones.
Tell us.
All right. So without wasting any time, we're just about to get our results and announce the 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place, 1st place. So you know what? All you got to do right now, stay tuned. Come back. It is now time for the announcement for the results. So let's get straight into it. At 4th place is Chibhero Agricultural College. 3rd place, Bulawayo Polytechnic. And the winners for this episode, it is Midlands State University. A round of applause for them. So it is the road to the semi-finals is upon us, and just hoping that we'll see most of you to the finals. So wish you all the best, guys. So many thanks to everyone that was joining us, you the viewers, and also everyone here. From us as Say What and me, your debate master. The road to the semi-finals is upon us, and see you at the semi-finals. Goodbye.
Even Mandela had a dream. EMP is a dream. You better get up and work on your dream. Work on that dream. Work on that dream. Work on that dream.
I got a dream. When you know you have a dream,